Hello everybody. This is Chris. Let me share my screen. Let's see the frame rate. Okay, this should be good. Go live. Fantastic. Hello everybody. This is Chris Barron, your Photoshop instructor. This is the 5th of July 2020, and we're gonna talk about various things today, but mostly about the one thing that you can do to actually ruin your design career, to ruin your career in general, to have a bad reputation, even if you're just at the beginning of your career. Let me know if you guys can hear me well. Let me know if the sound quality is fine, because I started just a couple of minutes earlier just so I could tune in the quality and whatnot. Is it good? It seems like it's good. Loud and clear. I'm not sure if you can actually see my face as well. Let me turn on the camera as well. And yeah, that should be good to go. We should be fine. So again, guys, we're gonna talk about the one thing that you can do as a designer that will guarantee that you're gonna have a bad career and a bad experience. Basically, this guarantees that you'll get into trouble. It's gonna be a pretty long story, so I hope you can bear with me. So let's start out with a metaphor, with an analogy, whatever you want to call it. Here's how I see things. Let's assume that you're into lifting weights, right? Let's assume that you've just started going to the gym and that you watch some YouTube videos and you see some huge guys, right? Like Ronnie Coleman, right? Absolutely massive, absolutely huge, right? So you look at him and you think, man, I would love to look whatever 50% as him, right? To get bigger like this guy, right? I don't want to look exactly like him, but I would like to get bigger like him. And then you see that he makes an ad. He says that, okay, I got this big because I drank lemonade, right? I drank this specific brand of lemonade. This is the lemonade that I drank. And because of that, I got this huge. Now, what he leaves out is the fact that he's also on PEDs. He's on performance enhancing drugs, steroids basically, right? Now, do you feel that because he's promoting a lemonade and he's saying to people that, okay, because I drank this lemonade, I got huge, do you feel that's fake? Do you feel that's disingenuous? Do you feel like that's somehow against some moral ethic? Do you feel like he's in the wrong for saying that? Because the problem is most people will not realize that he's not big because of that lemonade, that he's actually big because he's a genetic freak, a genetic monster, because of all those drugs and whatnot. But again, basically just because he was born, by having some fantastic genes. Do you feel like that's basically lying to people? So that's the first thing, right? Let me tell you another case. Let's say that I have a massive following. Let's say hundreds of thousands of people watch me, and I say, hey guys, look, I found this lemonade from this website, and man, I gotta say I love it. Man, this lemonade is great. This lemonade is one of the best I've ever drank. It's fantastic. It's the best lemonade you've ever had in your entire life. And then I don't disclose the fact that this is my company. Do you feel like that's wrong? Do you feel like I'm lying? Do you feel like I'm in the wrong here? The lemonade may be good, but the fact is that I don't tell you that this is my company and I'm advertising it and I'm pushing for it so much. Do you feel like that's wrong? Let me know in the comments section, because I would really like to know if you feel that's ethically wrong. Because again, that may be the truth. I may love that lemonade, I may really enjoy it. I may be completely honest about the fact that it's whatever, it's my company, so I really love that lemonade. Obviously, I have an incentive, it's... So again, is that sketchy? Is that deceptive? Okay, so now let's go back to the design world, because this is where it gets interesting, right? This is where I actually wanted to create this build up to show you these situations because of what happened, fairly recently. So we see a lot of stuff here posted in review my work, right? We see loads of things. Now, some people look, for example, this one, we see some really intricate stuff, some really complicated stuff, some are a bit more simpler, just exercises and whatnot. But some people really create some fantastic designs, right? Now, again, some people are really talented and they work hard to create, beautiful designs here. And that's totally great because I feel like it really motivates people. I feel like when someone posts something fantastic, even like this one, even if it's not perfect, you really feel like, okay, this is a community. And I'm really glad that, this person took the time, took a few hours and actually created this design, right? Again, it's not perfect, but say it's lovely, right? Say it's fantastic. I really find joy in that. I really feel like I'm really happy when people do their best and they post their work, right? But then, I see something. Let's go up just a little bit more. Again, this Batman one is great as well. Okay, and then we see this one from Jay. Let's call him Jay, right? And again, I feel like, okay, this is fantastic. I'm really proud of this person, of this student, Jay, because he created this awesome character. It looks lovely, right? I think we can all appreciate it, that it looks fantastic, right? And, working for so long on it, what did he say? My illustration from assignment number 1 took me a little over 1 hour, and then this sleepy emoji. So again, you feel like, okay, man, I would love to create a character like this one. I would love to be able to put the time in, to focus and, work so much that I can create something like this. But the problem is, if I'm not good enough and I see these types of designs, I may get depressed. I may be upset about my own skills, about my own life, about my own learning journey, just because I'm nowhere near as good as this student, right? So then you find out that actually, you know what? This is from this website. So what's up with that? So this is how you can totally ruin your reputation online. This is how you can ruin your design as a career, by doing things like this. My illustration from assignment number 1 took me a little over 1 hour. My illustration, right? So how do you guys feel about that? How do you feel about that person posting that illustration where it's actually from this tutorial right here from, somebody else, right? But before you say anything, let's look at someone else. Let's look at Farhan, who's been a guy that's been really active here in our community. And in general, Farhan has really helped a lot of people, right? And he basically did the following. He basically posted the following message. I'm gonna quickly show it here. If needed, I'm gonna show you the real thing. He says, "Hello everyone, I created a design for my personal portfolio website. I tried different color combinations, but not sure which one to select. I'm open to suggestions. Thanks." So this is what he posted, right? And then, after a bit of back and forth, I asked him this and that, and basically he said the following. This is the original design that's actually created by another designer. And this is his own design. So this is the original work, and this is his own design. And from the initial message, he says, "Hello everyone, I created a design for my personal portfolio. I tried different color combinations, but not sure which one to select. I'm open to suggestions." And then again, I'm asking about this and that. And then after I message him about this and that, he says, "But I made changes and I have the right to claim the design as mine." And then again, a bit later, "It's not like just another freebie that I downloaded and modified. This is from the instructor whom I personally know probably, and he has given permission to do so." So what do you guys feel about it? So he says he edited it. but I made changes and I have the right to claim the design as mine. Again, this is the original design. This is his design, right? So let's have a quick look. Let's chat app website, domain website. Okay. Okay. So this is exactly how you ruin your design, your career as a designer. This is exactly the one thing that you do that gets you into trouble, that ruins your reputation, and that basically, you know, everybody is gonna hate you. So I'm not really sure how you guys feel about it, how you guys think, you know, if you think it's totally fine or not. But let me tell you how I see things and how, you know, you should go about it as designers. That's actually basically the same thing as I said before. This is disingenuous, right? Hello everyone, I created the design for my personal portfolio. And again, if you're a beginner and you look at the design and you're thinking, man, my design doesn't look half as good as this one. Man, am I ever gonna be a designer? Look at what people post here. You know, look at how good some people are. You know, they create all these beautiful characters. They create all these beautiful websites. And my designs, man, they suck. There must be something wrong with me. So these are the types of messages I'm getting on Udemy. People that are afraid to post their work, not even in, you know, in the Q&A section, because they're afraid of the backlash. They're afraid to compare their work with other people's work, right? People, again, you have to understand that not everybody is you know, as confident as I am or as you are and whatnot. So people are, you know, a bit hesitant to expose themselves. It's a vulnerable thing. Ugh. It's a sensitive matter to expose yourself like this, you know, to create something and show it off to the world. It's not something that's easily done, right? So you have to have sort of a safe place, so to speak, even though I hate that phrase, that thing. You have to make sure that, you know, you're going up against people from the same class, right? Because again, people here and review my work, they're not professional designers. You're not supposed to find, you know, work that's from Dribble or Behance, you know, the best possible designs, you know, because again, that's not the point here. You know, stealing stuff from Behance and posting it here and saying that's your own. That's not how it works, right? This is a place where students can post their work, they can get feedback, they can get reviews, and they can get better at it. But when you're being deceptive, right? Because again, that's the only problem here, guys. Jay, he probably made it. Let's assume that he made it, that he didn't download the PSD and just posted it, right? Let's assume that he made it. But the simple fact that he didn't disclose it makes it really sketchy, makes it really something that's horrible, that makes you not trust him. Because again, look, he had, you know, some likes here. People are saying, hey man, it looks good, whatever, right? But now you find out that he didn't actually come up with the concept. Yeah, he may have gone through the steps, but it's not his work. That's the thing, it's not his work. So because he didn't disclose it, because, you know, Ronnie Coleman doesn't say that he's on PEDs, because I may not say that, hey, this is my company, that's why I'm promoting this lemonade. That's how you get into trouble, guys. And regarding Farhan, again, original and his, I mean, there's there's no discussion here. And again, the discussion is as follows. It's not about if he has permission to use it, right? Because again, if you take a look at my website or my freebies from Udemy or whatever, you can use all these designs, right? You can just double click it and, you know, replace the season with something else, right? You're allowed to do that. My license says that you're allowed to do that. You're even allowed to sell it, right? You can use this thing right here for your client. It's the same thing with free pick or flat icon. You're allowed to modify them or leave them as they are and use them in your work, in your commercial work. But the problem is you can't say that you made it. You can't say I created this. just because I changed the color. So this is where Farhan really didn't understand the issue. It's not the fact that you're not allowed to use, a template and, just change a few things here and there. That's not the point. The point is that you're claiming it's yours. The point is that you didn't disclose that it's based on someone else's work. If you said, hey, you know what, I used this template, or I used this tutorial or whatever, that would have been totally fine. But the way you phrase it, the way you write this message, that's the thing that really bothers me. And then obviously this point right here, that you claim that it's your work because you changed a few things. That's the problem. That's disingenuous, right? So what do you guys feel about this this issue? What do you guys feel about, not being upfront and whatnot? Because let me tell you, it's one thing here, right? It's one thing here what we have in Discord, but it's another thing what's going on in the real world. In the real world, if people caught you doing something like this, you would be banned. On 99 Designs, you would 100% be banned for life. So now, the question is, what should we do with these guys? Should we kick them? Should we ban them? Or should we just leave them alone? Let's vote. Kick, ban, leave them alone. Okay, and then please just follow them. Just upvote, please. Yeah, please make those ticks, and yeah, so we can vote. So again, let me turn off the screen. Okay, and hopefully you guys can see my face. And yeah, please vote, because again, the problem here is that this is a safe place. It's not a problem, right? They may learn from it, they may not learn from it. They may have, made some people upset because their work wasn't as good as theirs, even though it wasn't theirs. So now let me know what should happen. Because again, if they were on Fiverr, if they were on Freelancer, if they were anywhere else, there would be consequences. There would be consequences to the point where, again, they would lose their hard-earned profile points, reviews, and whatnot. So that's the thing. I really feel like this is a sensitive thing where we could go either way. We could, 100%, permanently ban them or ban them for a month or whatever. But the idea is that they're not alone in this. There's not, I'm sure that other people are doing the same thing. And this is actually one of the problems I've had with my friend from the UK, who, again, if you don't know the story, he's basically working in a job where he doesn't really like it, and he wants to become a designer. And he found FreePick, and now he's just abusing it. He's just using FreePick for absolutely everything. He doesn't create anything from scratch, not even, he doesn't basically do anything but edit templates from FreePick, right? So I think this is a pretty widespread issue. I think it's not just about Jay and Farhan. It's about, sending a message that this thing right here, because again, we basically can just overlook it, right? We can just not talk about it, and that's it, right? I could have just had a conversation with them, and that's it, right? But I really feel like there's something to be learned here. There's something to be learned because, again, imagine, again, Farhan, from what I've seen, he's a pretty good guy. He's always helping people and whatnot, right? He's pretty active here, and he constantly tries to help. Probably he wasn't trying to be deceptive. Probably he didn't understand the issue. But again, imagine he was working on whatever platform of your choosing. Let's say 99 Designs, because probably most of you guys are familiar with it. Imagine he was working there and somebody found out he did something like that. He would have lost any potential money from any design contest he was currently involved in, and he would have been permanently suspended. So that's the thing. Here, it's not a problem. But in the real world, if a client finds out that you did something like this and you come with those arguments that whatever, I have his permission or whatever, people are gonna sue you. People are gonna write some horrible things about you. Your reputation in this field is everything. So that's the thing here. That's the issue. Because again, we can just put it to the side and not talk about it. But the problem is, if you go into the real world, it's really gonna bite you in the ass. It's really gonna have major consequences, legal consequences, and all of a sudden, you're no longer a designer. All of a sudden, you can't work on that platform that you've spent, months or ages, right? So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I really feel like it's something that needs to be addressed. So it seems like people are voting kick only 3 votes and leave them alone 6 votes. So again, it seems like people are saying, okay, we should just leave him be. Totally fine. But again, what should we do in the future, right? What should we do with all the rest of these guys on Discord that are probably doing the same thing? That's a very good question, and I really don't have the solution for it, because the problem is they don't think they're doing anything wrong. That's the problem, right? They may say, okay, Chris is just he's just a jackass. Chris is in the wrong. Chris is too arrogant or whatever, right? So they may just say that, it's just, look, again, Farhan right now, he's defending himself. The problem is not because he has any malice. It's because he doesn't understand the point. He doesn't understand the problem. So again, that's the issue here, that there may be hundreds of people like him that don't understand the point. So that's really upsetting. That's really, really upsetting. Okay, so let me quickly disable the chat. Just 1 second. Yeah. So again, I'll see what I can do. Probably I'll have to create another lesson about this case, because again, the problem is not with Farhan. The problem is not with Jay. The problem is being disingenuous, right? The problem is not having enough information to realize what's good and what's bad. So that's something that really, I'm not sure how to portray this better than I did. This is why I talked about Ronnie Coleman and this and that, about this, promoting something, okay, buy this remote control, this is fantastic, and then you find out through some other person that this is my company, that I have a financial gain, right? So I really feel like it's something so sensitive and so nuanced that not a lot of people are able to understand. And again, Farhan is still not getting it. So this is something why this is why we're having this discussion. But to close it off and move on to something else, I really hope that I can do my best as an instructor and steer people towards the right path, because that's the only thing I want, right? I don't want to ridicule Farhan. I don't want to ban him. Same thing with Jay. It's nothing else. It's, I'm totally fine in helping people, and this is coming from a good place. I told him that in the general channel as well. This is all coming from a good place. I'm not trying to make anyone feel ashamed and whatnot. But you have to realize that there's 2 things. It's one thing, other people that are not as talented, they're gonna feel bad when they see stolen work, because that's basically it. And second thing, doing stuff like this has real consequences in the real world. You're gonna get sued by a client. You're not gonna get paid by a client. You're gonna get suspended from the design platform. You're basically gonna ruin your design career just because of this one thing, right? So now, for the last 5 minutes, let me tell you a little bit about what's been going on with Adobe XD. Adobe XD, I've already written about 6 or 7 lectures, and it's going pretty well. I have to say it's a huge shock coming from Photoshop, just because of some things like you can't change the color of your interface, for example. So this is something that really bothers me so much. Adobe XD is basically they have one forum where people can actually voice their opinion. It's called, let me see if I can quickly find it. It's basically a place where people upvote what they want to do. Adobe XD feature list, yeah, voice of something. It's really, yeah, there you go. I found it. I'm gonna post it in general. Yeah. So here you can find what people are looking for as far as improvements in Adobe XD, and there are things here that are an absolute must, and things that have been voted by thousands of people and they still haven't been implemented. So that's the feeling I'm getting with Adobe XD. It's a love-hate relationship. I love that it's fast. It's much faster than Photoshop, though. Just as a small side note, it does seem to have slowed down just a little bit. The zooming in and out is not as crisp as before, so I'm not really sure if it's starting to slow down a bit. But overall, yeah, the point is it's fantastic on some aspects, but on other parts, not having the ability to change the color of your interface, which is how long could that, how long does that take, right? Because Adobe XD has been out for a number of years, so it's really shocking. And the fact that you can't detach panels. The fact that you can't detach panels is an absolute shock for me as a Photoshop user. And again, yeah, that's pretty awful. And when you import an image, from what I'm seeing so far, I'm not sure where I'm at in regards to 100%. So, in Photoshop, when we have a smart object, we use Control T and maybe we make it at 20%. We shrink it down to 20%, right? And then we can easily blow it back up to 100%. Well, here, you don't really know what's what. Maybe I haven't seen it. Maybe there is some sort of feature and whatnot, but I haven't seen it so far. So that's pretty difficult. But yeah, things have been going fairly well, and I think Adobe XD, this course is probably gonna be out in about 2 months, depending on how long I make it. The plan right now is to make it at least 10 hours, and we're gonna do websites, we're gonna do apps, we're gonna prototype, so we can have that interaction, which I really feel is the strong point. And the best feature of it all is the fact that you can co-edit. So that's one thing that I'm really excited about. So we can basically work on the same project, multiple people at the same time. So how great is that? Imagine we have a 10-page website. I'm gonna do the home page, you're gonna do the About Us page, you're gonna do the blog, you're gonna do the contact page. So that's fantastic. Assuming we have a style guide, we can work 3, 4, 5 people at a time, whatever, I'm not sure what's the limit. And we can bang out a design just like that. So I'm really, really excited about that. Plus, they have a new feature which it's hard to explain, but it's gonna make your life that much easier when you wanna flip things around, when you wanna, when you have a list of things and you just wanna rearrange it. It's just like that. So overall, again, Adobe XD, it's great. It's like a jet ski. Let me put it like that. So Photoshop is like a mega cruise ship. Right? You have a band, you have a casino, you have a bowling alley, you have a gym, you have a helipad, you have everything in Photoshop that you ever want. But the trouble is, if you're not into all that, if you just want to have some fun on the waves, you're lugging all that weight for nothing. So the cruise ship, because it has so many features, it's slow as hell. On the other hand, Adobe XD is like a jet ski. You don't have any of those features, you don't have those amenities, but what you do have, you can make good use of it. So that's something that's really cool. The fact that it's so lightweight, it's so easy to use, it has only a bunch of features, but it's fantastic, right? You can use it to really have fun. But again, it's just a jet ski. It's not that jet skis are better than cruise ships. It's totally different things, right? So that's what I'm finding out by working more and more in the Adobe XD. Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I do hope that Farhan will eventually understand the point that it's about being clear and transparent as possible, because again, it's not the fact that, I'm upset, or that, whatever, I'm a bit too aggressive, or I'm a jackass, or whatever. It's the fact that these types of things have concrete consequences, solid consequences that you'll really regret in the real world. Clients may not pay you, clients may sue you, platforms may suspend you permanently, and all of that because of a misunderstanding. Here, people seem to be pretty forgiving, and I'm totally in the same boat. I'm totally forgiving for just a simple misunderstanding. But people have to realize that you may throw away your entire design career, your entire reputation, your entire portfolio, all your reviews, all your positive things that have come out of your hard work. You may throw all that away just because you don't understand one point about whatever freebies and whatnot. So please be on the lookout and don't make the same mistake. I'll see what I can do to create some lectures and include them in my Udemy courses so that people can benefit from this topic. For now, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you're having a great day or night, whatever that is here. Here it's 6:30 p.m. Hope you're having a great day. And yeah, I'll catch you Wednesday. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye for now.